Welcome, everybody, to Santa's VIP panel.
Woo! We're live stream now.
I better behave myself.
Why start now?
I always behave myself. What are you on about?
How you doing, buddy?
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad.
Still fighting with Clipchamp. It just goes and does the circle, circle, circle. And of course, then you ask AI, what's the best for putting captions on there? And it says CapCut. And I says, okay, CapCut. Oh, you got to pay for it. They won't even give you a free option to put the captions on.
Really?
Yep.
See, yeah.
Unreal. I can't win today. Yeah, for some reason, does this every couple of months, and it's that's what you get for the free version of something, right?
Do you want me to sign up to a free version and then give you my password? Will that help?
Maybe, but the free version it won't give me on CapCut. You got to pay for it to even give you the captions.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I only use CapCut for just chopping off the end of my videos.
Yeah. So, and I use that other program that can do the same thing.
Oh, Opus.
No, Opus you got to pay for as well.
Oh, right. Okay.
Because I was going to, if I've got to sign up to one of these, which one's going to work? But Opus is the best for creating the shorts.
Yeah.
But one of the features is not putting captions on.
Mm-hmm.
At least I don't think it is. I'm looking at all around editor, B-roll, clip anything, animated captions. So, yeah,
I would have thought it would do it if it leaves the watermark up.
Yeah, but it once you pay for, okay, my dashboard. Let's see. Yeah, I don't have any credits. And I mean, if they're going to limit me even paying on how many I can do a month just for putting captions on, it's kind of a goofy way, right?
Well, exactly. Well, this is the big problem. There's so many of them that even if you pay for it, they limit you.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Yeah. Whereas I was using that Clipchamp, I could do 10 videos a day and it would never say anything.
Right. I will sign up to that tomorrow and see what happens.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if that will be if they'll restrict it because I'm not on the same IP address.
Well, who knows? Who knows?
Yeah, no kidding. So, because I know, and I think you said it earlier on today, that if you upload a video to YouTube, it'll put the captions on there.
Well, it can do.
Yeah.
And it can do your transcripts and everything.
Right.
But it's not something that I use, so.
Yeah, well, I'm going to quickly upload this video and see if it'll do the captions. Keep it on private because it allows me to put the text on there, but it won't let me because I need the text to create the description.
Yeah, yeah. I'll have a play with it tomorrow because I've got a couple of videos to upload tomorrow. So
Yeah. So anyway, other than that, it's been a frustrating day because I've been fighting with this.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, I tried short videos. I tried one of my long stories, and
Mm-hmm.
it gets down to, 2 seconds. And then it goes circle, 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 circle,
Oh, don't.
And then
Yeah,
I
I hate that.
shut the computer off. I rebooted it. I uninstalled the program and reinstalled it. And it still shows my videos. So yeah, it's a little frustrating right now. Cause yeah, Opus clips, well, I have a discount. Oh yeah, and now it's not showing tap yearly. If I pay for it a year, it's $175 for the year.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'll sign up to both of them tomorrow because I don't use either of those. So,
Right?
well, yeah, there's Google are bringing out something new. It's only on test in the States at the moment.
Oh yeah, what's that?
It's well, when it's released, I should be able to use it to build a fully immersive 3D website
Really?
where people can basically, so say you've got a shop, someone can walk into the shop and pick up what they want to buy and put it in a basket and then pay for it.
Huh.
And if say you've got a luxury cabin or something somewhere, you can actually put different renders on it, so you can have it for springtime, summer, autumn, winter. So you can actually put all the different seasonal things in. So if you were so for Christmas week, you'd have it all decorated out with Christmas decorations, New
Right.
Year, and have that fully immersive. So instead of just people seeing this video where they, which is a 3D video, they can actually feel like they're walking around.
Right.
So I'm quite interested. I'm trying to get hold of that, trying to find a way of getting hold of that. So
I see. So yeah, they when I was talking to you earlier on, I had to get off to get onto the meeting from the guys from England there. And Paul was not there. It was his birthday, so he was out in southern England somewhere going out for supper with some old shipmates.
well,
And
I mean,
Haley,
that's a long trip for him.
yeah, and Haley wasn't there, so it was just Mike and Roz and one other young lady, and Bob was there, and we actually had a really good discussion about just promoting and because we're all saying the same. Hey, Bob's starting to get into his January, February, March is always slow for him.
Yeah.
And then it starts getting busier as April is starting to pick up. But yeah, they were saying the same thing as I am, and you and I were discussing it a little bit yesterday, in the fact that my emails are not generating the responses that I want, but yet I can have a conversation and people get excited about the idea of the story time for the nursing home. So it's, do I dig deeper and give them more information in an email, or less to generate the phone conversation? That's the interesting question.
Well, I'd go for less to generate the phone conversation.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
the problem is no one reads emails. I did a test, and you can do sort of like a what do you call it? A heat seeker type thing. and you
Right.
can see how far people actually read down the email,
Oh yeah.
and that's quite interesting. So,
Yeah.
and how long they spend on it, so you can work out how much it's. Once it gets more than once you get more than sort of 150 words, people just fade out.
Right.
So, and if you send,
Yeah. There's it shows that on the video. Watching a video, do they watch 3 seconds, 5 seconds, 10,
well,
20?
this is the whole point, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's so difficult to know what your target audience wants, and it's only by basically A/B testing everything that you find out.
Right.
And you got to. So, I mean, at the moment, for one of my clients, we're testing 8 things at each stage.
Really?
Yeah. So we got 8 different versions.
That'll be interesting to see what kind of results you get from that.
Well, there's not, I mean, we haven't done a lot, but different versions are working differently in different countries.
Right.
So the version that works best in the UK is only 5th best in South Africa.
Huh.
And the one that's best in South Africa is 3rd best in the UK. So that's the results we've got so far.
Right. Right.
But it's a very, we're looking to get we're looking for 1% warm leads, because we know that probably 60% of the leads it would be difficult to do business with. But until you get into a conversation, you don't actually know. So they fit the ideal client profile, but there's technical stuff behind the scenes.
Right.
So, and obviously you've got it's a difficult industry to crack because it's very old and static.
Right.
So lots of people don't want to change.
Huh.
But the thing is, but if you find the people that do, they're almost a certainty. So,
Yeah. And we were talking about that in the respect of once you get the conversation going, then you build up that know, like, and trust.
exactly.
And and emails and text messages don't portray the ability to create that know, like, and trust. You have to have that conversation.
Yeah. So I mean, the whole point is you've got to try and angle them so you can get a conversation. And for me, getting a video conversation is the best way,
Right.
because then people can see, A, I'm passionate, B, I'm not just reading from a script or whatever,
Yeah. Yep.
and in real time they could just ask me anything and
Right.
see, so I can prove my depth of knowledge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is important. And so, yeah, and it gives me a chance to disqualify the person as well.
Well, yeah,
So,
because we've all seen many times that you're interviewing them as just as much as they're interviewing you.
exactly. Well, to be honest, it's more me interviewing them, because if I don't think they're right, then it doesn't matter how much money they've got. I don't want to do business with them. So,
Right.
it's, I need to deal with people that are going to stick to the plan. They're going to go with the program, do it sensibly, and put in as much effort as me.
Right.
Because there's no point having clients that are just not hungry. You need people that want to expand their business. So as soon as you get them the warm leads, they chase them. and
Right.
they're hungry to do business. Where
Yep.
so many people just sit back and they go, "Oh, I'll do it tomorrow." Well, that 24 hours is the difference between bagging the customer and not bagging the customer.
Yeah.
Because if someone's really looking for it, for the service, then they won't only be talking to you. And so
Right.
even if your email hits them and they go, "Oh, that's really good, I'm interested," they'll start looking elsewhere, because
Yeah.
they'll go on to AI and start looking for who else is doing it. And then if you're not in within 24 hours, you might as well not bother.
Yeah.
And this is the problem. Most people running businesses now just can't get that into their head,
Yeah.
because they think that once they've got a warm reply, that they can talk to them whenever they like.
Yeah.
You know, they don't even use my system, which is like, get back to people, say, "Yeah, let's book a meeting." And then if that's 3 or 4 days time, that's not a big problem, because you've already made the contact and
Right.
got the meeting in the book. You know, but
Yeah.
to leave it 2 or 3 days and then hope to get the meet, by that time they've probably done business with someone else.
Right.
So, it's yeah, it's difficult, and that's no good for me, because obviously I want the best results possible, because
Well,
that's
yeah,
the
of
reason
course.
why I'm not doing, I'm not offering the service to take money off people. I'm offering the service you know, for them to be successful.
Yeah.
Because then the idea is that they contact other people, they know other people that want to be successful, and I work with people that have the same mindset as me. Because otherwise I don't enjoy it at all. I don't
Right.
enjoy chasing people up, going, "You're supposed to have sent me this and I can't get on with the plan
Yeah.
because you haven't." And this is what happens all the time. And then, if I've put aside half a day on it, they're supposed to contact me on the Monday with all the details, and I've got Tuesday morning to do it, and then I'm booked up for the rest of the week. If they don't send it, I can't do it for a week.
Right. Right.
And
And
that's
then they become ticked off at you because you're not responding right away.
Well, no, they go, "Oh, when's it going to be ready? When's it going to be ready?" I go, "I don't know, because you didn't send it to me on the right day." So it causes conflict, and I'd rather, I don't have time to argue about that, because it's their fault. It's not my fault. If they don't
Right.
send it, by 9 o'clock Tuesday morning, what can I do? It's
Yeah.
like, I
Exactly.
can't do it's the same as if someone books a hotel and doesn't turn up. That's not the hotel's fault. That's down to the person that's booked the hotel. It's up to them to get there. And and I'm becoming more and more of that mindset, because otherwise you can't control your business.
Right.
You've got to be in control. But the problem is, everyone else works on the basis that they're not organized, so that they're in chaos anyway. So the fact they're dealing with other people that are in chaos is not that big an issue, because they're already in chaos. But I don't want to get into chaos because of other people.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and that's how I look at it. And it's it is what it is. So, but no. So I'm putting together a plan. I'll have the QR codes and everything ready for, say, Thursday, and we can launch the charity thing.
Okay.
So and I was thinking about it, to get story time Wednesday out of the way,
Yeah.
and then that means that you got Thursday, Friday, Saturday before you do business Sunday.
Right.
So you got 3 days where you haven't got a specific focus thing apart from the normal videos going out.
Yep. Yep.
So I thought that made sense. I'm hoping to get hold of this young driver within the next couple of days.
Yeah. It'll be interesting to see how he responds.
Well, the thing is, he's got 7 million followers.
Yeah. On which platform?
Across platforms.
Oh, okay.
So I don't know the exact figures because I haven't gone in and looked, but that's the main thing is to find out whether he's interested. And so I'm putting basically a resume together for all the people I've worked with,
Yeah.
particularly the people I've worked with that like the 14, 15, 16-year-olds that have either won championships or and have gone on and they're in the top 2 in the world in motorsport. So, I mean, unfortunately, it's a little bit of a shame that Robert Lambert never just missed out on being world champion, because that would have been the icing on the cake. But I mean, he's only early 20s, so he's still got plenty of time,
Right.
but it's difficult. You need a little bit of luck in speedway, because
Yeah.
if you get a horrible gate in the final, then you are virtually beat.
Well, and tires and crew, it all plays part of the overall picture. And if someone screws up and someone makes a mistake that you're not in control of,
Mm.
it can change the outcome of the race as well.
Well, I mean, the thing is, if someone does a block pass, you can lose so much time.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's really cutthroat. I mean, speedway is really, yeah, it's a very open sport.
Yeah.
So, and sometimes it depends. The track really makes a difference. The weather makes a big difference. There's so many variables, and probably more variables that are unknown compared to like track racing,
Right.
like motor racing on a circuit. So, it's and they do rate the track and grade the track during the meeting as well, which can totally change it.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So where the
Absolutely.
inside might be quick, then once they've regraded it, then the outside might be quick. So so there's a lot of there's so many variables, but I mean, he's such a quality rider. I mean, I think he was 14 when he beat the world champion
Really.
in the race. Yeah, yeah,
Wow.
yeah. Oh, I've got photos of me with him when he was 13.
Really.
Yeah. I was one of the first people to spot his talent, and I'm not really into speedway as well. So it's
Right.
it's just there was a speedway track within 40 minutes of my home, and I was always looking for youngsters to sponsor in those days.
Right.
So I mean, and they had some brilliant results. I mean, Harry went to Mallory Park and won all 4 races. I had, you know, um, Asher Durham got to quite a high level of British bikes. The 2 Lowe's twins, they're in World Superbikes, and they were 3rd and 5th this weekend in the races.
See, the racetrack here in Brainerd, they bring in some super bikes as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh.
Oh yeah, there's an American Superbike series,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't actually know any of the riders that are in that.
Right.
But it's interesting because I was watching the replay of British touring cars today,
Yeah.
and two of the drivers were racing in the British Fiesta Championship. Well, Fiesta Juniors and then the Fiesta Seniors, when a kid that I was sponsoring was whipping their ass.
Really.
Yeah, and they were like in the top 6
Huh.
in British touring cars. So, But the problem is, as you go up, like, it just gets more and more expensive.
Oh, absolutely.
So
We were involved in dirt track racing here for a while, and the quarter and the quarter mile dirt tracks here for a while. We sponsored some cars, and just those classes. Yeah, I mean, some of the by the time you got to the higher end classes, some of those motors were $50,000, just the motors.
yeah, I know.
Never mind the bodies and all the other workings to go along with it. And you start doing that, and you could be wrecking every freaking weekend. And yeah, you're not going to destroy a motor, but you're going to destroy parts on a motor that
Yeah.
is going to add up to be some big chunks of change every week.
Well, I mean, that's the big problem. I mean, when I was racing, set of tires was £800.
Yeah,
And and the people with the money, every time they went out, they had a new set of tires. So they're spending £4,000 a weekend just on tires.
yeah. So you better have some, good sponsorship or some deep pockets.
Yeah, and they've got their own mechanics, pit crew, and stuff. Well, I mean, I had my own lorry, and I was
Yeah,
I was preparing my own car. I'm looking after it at the racing, so I'm racing and doing the mechanics job as
right.
well.
Which
Which is
is
difficult.
very difficult.
Well, well, the worst one was at the Lotus Festival. I had, I ha- I was racing. I was racing there. I'd organised the band because I put on the band there, and I also had a trade stand, and I nearly and they changed, and I also did the Guinness World Record thing as well that weekend, and they brought forward the time of one of my races by half an hour. So I've left the trade stand and got down there, and they're going, "You should be out. You're going out in 2 minutes." And I'm going, "But I haven't even filled. I've got no fuel in my car. I haven't even fueled my car, and I wasn't dressed." So I got someone that had never fueled a car before to fuel my car. I couldn't change the tires, so I had the rubbish tires on because it would only have taken me 20 minutes to prepare the car. So because I was on the trade stand, I thought, right, it'll take me 5 minutes to get my kit on. It'll take me 15 minutes to do the tires and the pressures and everything else. So I mean, I didn't even test the pressures before I went out,
Jeez.
and I still came fourth. So not being able to change the tires for my good tires for the second race probably cost me a podium,
Yeah.
which was really annoying. So, but my
Yeah.
car was flying. I mean, when you look at the video, like cars in a faster class behind me through one particular section, I'm pulling away from them, and they've got
Yeah.
a lot more power than me. Crazy. I mean, I drove well, but the car just my rear left tire was the one that really took the brunt of the racing at Snetterton. And when I came back in after the second race, I was down to the canvas on that tire. So I probably only had 2 or 3 laps left on that tire.
Really.
Yeah, it was totally gone. Like no grip whatsoever.
Right.
So, but it is what it is. But so I mean, if I was to, you know, so one of the ideas I had was if I can get this kid on board, and then potentially another couple of kids in the Formula 4, I could actually have them in an endurance team and race the GT4 car.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, the cost of doing that for a season is like 350 grand.
Yeah.
But you can pull that in sponsorship. So
Right.
particularly with those with those 3 drivers, because basically it's so before what I had was I'm trying to think what I called them. Oh, I can't remember, but I had these 3 kids motorcycle racing, and they weren't a team because they're individuals, but I packaged them together.
Right.
So, and they were, I can't remember what the wording was now, but something like future champions or whatever. And I had the calendars made up and everything with them on, and all their racing and all the pictures and stuff. And that's how I would market it. So I've got 3 of these kids in basically in Formula 4. So, that's 3 steps away from Formula 1.
Right.
And they're all sort of 15, 16. So, but they need to be 16 to do the GT racing. And because Max Verstappen, who's like 4-time Formula 1 champion, and a couple of the other Formula 1 drivers have gone and done some GT racing this year, that's it all ties in together. So yeah, I reckon I could get the car sponsored for a season and cover the costs.
Well, there you go. So, I mean, do you take a chance and try and do it, or do you? It's too late for this year already. But
Yeah, well, the thing is, it takes. I would have to start working on it in July,
for next year,
ready for next April.
yeah,
But I you see, I've got I've got some meetings with some teams. So, because I need to find a team to run it, because I can't run it. It's I need a couple of professional mechanics.
yeah,
Plus, you need the spares and everything else. But I've got the thing is that I've got the car. I know where I can get the car that I want for it.
right,
So yeah, it's a Lotus Emira. I know Lotuses. I know a little bit about the engine in that. I know all about the geometry of how Lotuses set up their cars. So, so I've already got quite a lot of knowledge about the car before it becomes a race car, and it's homologated as well for Formula 4.
oh yeah,
So all the hard work's done to an
right,
extent. So, it's and setting up the team and everything. Well, it's not if I can find a team to run the car, then all I've got to do is basically go and get the sponsors in. And you've seen the color of the car, that burnt orange car
yep,
color. I think that'll be really attractive. But
huh,
because it'll stand out, and no one else has really got a car like that at the moment. Because you need to differentiate it.
oh yeah,
So,
yep,
and also, I mean, I can get the race suits made up for a couple of grand each. And the helmet will be probably 1,500 quid. So, so I can kit the 3 of them out for 10 grand. And then
say it quick and it don't hurt.
well, no, I know. but the
Yep,
point is that it'll be when they get out the car, it's obvious they're part of the car, and that's the point. So,
right,
and even some of the Formula 1 teams, the race suits that they wear don't really match the cars. And I
why?
look at it and go, what are you doing?
Yeah, no kidding.
They got the sponsors on, but they don't fit the car, if you see what I mean. So when I was involved with the World Touring cars, my race suit basically was very similar to the drivers in that team, and their race suits were matched to the cars. So obviously, when I'm in the garage wearing my race suit and holding my helmet, everyone thinks I'm a driver for that car.
Right,
So, which was quite funny, really. I had people coming up to me wanting me to sign their program, thinking that I was one of the drivers. And I'm going, and then when I turn it to my race series, where my photo, when there's a photo of me and a photo of the car, they're looking disappointed.
Yeah.
because the world touring cars were the main, they were the feature event. You know, I was just a support race series.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, but you know, it's, I mean, in the pecking order, you had Formula One. Oh. In the pecking order, you had Formula One,
Yeah.
Formula Two. Well, I used to race at the Formula Two meetings. Then you had World Touring Cars, DTM, and I used to race at both of those meetings. So I used to race at all the big, you know, 4 of my 10 races meetings a year were at the 4 biggest ones apart from Formula One. And then guess what the irony was? So Alan Jones, who was an Australian Formula One champion, he actually contacted my series and he wanted us to race at the Australian Formula One meeting.
Really?
And they were prepared to ship our cars out there because he loved the series, because the racing was so exciting and the cars handle so well, you know, and it was just ultra competitive, you know. And we always, you know, I mean, we had races with like 36, 38 cars on the grid.
Wow.
Scary stuff.
Now, those go on like a big cargo plane, don't they? They're small enough to go on a cargo plane.
Yeah. So we would have been able to ship them out on 2 planes, I think.
Yeah.
So, but a big problem was most of us were running our own businesses that were racing in it. So, you know, and that would have, you know, you got to suddenly find 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because you have to go over there, set it all up, do some testing, because obviously you need to test at the track.
So Peter, how did you get interested in this racing?
Well, I've always been interested in racing. So I lived in South London, and at the time, Crystal Palace, where they've got the racetrack, the athletics track, they used to have a motor racing circuit there. And I think I went there when I was about 5 years old. And then when I was 9, I started going, 8 or 9, I was going down to Brands Hatch to watch the motorcycle racing. And that was when Agostini was world champion and Barry Sheen was just starting. And so, and and then when I went to when I was 11 and went to my next school, there were a couple of kids that I got on well with that were into Formula One. So I always had, and one of them used to race karts as well. So, you know, it started from a very young age, really.
Oh,
But
interesting.
and I was quite good at spotting who the talent was. So it's one of those things where I don't know. See, I have the same affinity with horses as well. I can watch them and understand what's going on. So with drivers, you can see, if you understand how the car behaves, you can work out whether they're a good driver or not, whether they've got the talent. And
Okay.
you know, I mean, I've raced against top Formula One drivers, been in a car with them, you know, and you can just feel the difference. It's, yeah, it's yeah, and I was good at spotting talent, so you know, I think off the top of my head, I would say that I've probably been involved with 20 British Championship winners in about 8 years. when I was involved. So,
That's pretty good, amazing.
well, and that's across cars, bikes, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was going to do sidecar racing, and I actually did some testing. And you should have seen the state of my helmet, because my helmet was banging on the curbs as we were going around the corners where I was leaning over so far. So, but that's really scary because it's really easy to fall off the back.
Right.
If you fall off the back, you just get mashed.
Yeah.
So, you get run over by everything behind.
There's no seatbelts in sidecars.
No. So the safe bit is where the driver is. But the passenger who's on the back, they're just on the platform on the back of the outfit, and you're
Right.
basically leaning over both sides. So you've got a few hand grips, and that's it.
Yeah.
If you lose your grip, you fall off the back, and they can tip over. People don't realize how much they can tip over.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
we were going around the corners on two wheels.
I think I've seen a couple sidecar races, and I'm going, that's nuts.
Well, one of the guys that I was involved with who was doing extreme rallying, who was a total lunatic, wanted me to be his passenger at
Navigator.
Isle of Man TT. And I said to him, "You've got no chance." I mean, imagine falling off the back at 140 miles an hour.
Yeah. No, thanks.
When you hit a bump in the road, when you hit a grating in the road.
Yeah.
One of the kids that I sponsored who won he was 19, he won the 2 weeks before the TT, they have like the Manx races.
Right.
So, which is bike racing, but it's like a more junior sort of level, a lower level. And he won the lightweights, and he was going places, and then he got killed in the Northern 200, 130 miles an hour into a wall.
Yeah. That tenda would hurt.
Yeah. So, and then a couple of years later, I lost 5 people that I knew that got killed in car racing, which was very unusual because not that many people really get killed car racing.
Right.
But it was just 2 really freaky, well, 3 freaky accidents. So I was racing at Brands Hatch, and John Surtees, who's the only person to be a bike world champion and Formula One world champion.
Okay.
His son Henry was racing in the Formula 2 race, and a wheel came off another car and basically, boom, killed him. And that was and I knew Henry a little. I didn't know him very well, but because I was racing on the same card as him, and because I was at a couple of the meetings he was at when I was with other people and not racing myself. And so that was very hard going out. I mean, I didn't know he was dead. I just saw him going off. I saw the helicopter going.
Huh.
But actually going out, having seen that accident happen, and going out racing an hour later was not easy.
I bet not.
It was, yeah, that was, it's, yeah. There's loads of emotions, loads of psychological issues with doing it,
There's Miss Sue joining us.
Hi, Sue. But
You're joining in. Peter's telling us about his racing history.
Oh, I love it. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm just walking out of my office here and heading to the car. It's been a long day.
I guess so.
But but when you look at some of the accidents people walk away from.
Yeah,
Incredible.
It's crazy. I mean, of course, you can pull those up, most of them up on YouTube and stuff, and they go, and they walked away. How do they do that?
Well, did I send you the video of John LeMaster which is where the car rolls 5 times?
No.
I'll send it to you.
Sounds awful.
Yeah, but he got up and walked away.
That was my
And
next question. Did he walk away?
This is rolling at what, 160 miles an hour too.
No, he wasn't going that quick. I think he was going through Clearways. So I think he would have been going 90-ish, 95 when he clipped when the other cars clipped him. What happened was, as they're coming round the bend, one car hit another and went sideways, and then for some reason he started to come back onto the inside. 3 other cars tried to get round on the inside. 2 got through, but the third one just clipped him at the wrong, and it rolled over. But he was racing with no roof on his car, and you can see how strong the cars were, and how I walked away from 90 miles an hour head on into the barrier, because the cars were just, everyone thinks that Lotus, oh, it's a little car, it's, it can't take an accident. They are so strong. I'd rather be in one of those than any other car on the road, because metal cars just crumple. So if you're in a front engine metal car and you have that sort of accident, the least you're going to do is break your legs.
Right.
And with the force of it, the engine's probably going to come so far back, you're probably going to have your hips dislocated as well.
Yeah, probably.
So, and I just got out and walked away. My head was going, my head was going, dum, 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 and I'm, chronic headache, but the hands device that goes over and it clips to your helmet. So you got the tethers, and I used to have them really tight. So all I could do was that. And the thing is, you want to turn away when you see the wall coming towards you, but you can't because of the tethers, because in your helmet. And that's why I didn't break my neck.
Huh. What were you about to say, Sue?
What was it? I missed the key piece of info of what was the preferred vehicle or preferred harness, or what was it that you said was the key that you were able to walk away?
Oh, it's the hands device. So
which is
basically, it sits. It comes up at the back behind your head, and then it comes over, and then your straps in the car hold it in place. And then you got 2 tethers that come off it, and it means you can't move your head sideways very much. Well, you've got a choice. You can have it loose, so you can do that, or you can have it tight. Well, because I could see my mirrors with it tight, I used to have it tight, which was just as well. So, but yeah, but the thing is, it's really weird. Because of what happened. So some trim came off another car and got wrapped around my steering. So I couldn't actually turn the wheel. So I knew I was going to go off. So I've got 2 choices. Do I pull the handbrake and spin it, and so that I might not hit the wall? But I know that if I spin it and hit the wall, there'll be nothing left of the car, and it's going to hurt. And because I'm on slick tires on the grass, you're not going to stop because there's no grip. So, and if you brake, it makes no difference because you just lock up. And so you're just sitting there and you could just see the thing coming towards you. And it's almost like it takes a minute. It just seems to be forever while you're waiting for the impact.
Yeah, I can imagine.
But I don't have any memory after probably getting halfway towards the wall. I don't have any memory after that.
Really?
No, not at all. So, but I do remember some of the others. So I was right up behind a car going into what's called the old hairpin at Donington, and the car in front dropped fluid. And obviously, because I'm so close, I can't see. So as I've turned in, and it's quite a tight, it's very tight, and you come down Craner, and it's very steep, and then you turn in, and the car's being pushed wide anyway. And as I've turned in, I've just gone off sideways. and where I've hit the gravel, with such force going sideways, the chassis is twisted slightly, and the body's like flexed quite a lot, and the windows just all went. So I'm sitting in a car just full of glass, wondering why I've gone off, because I didn't understand why I'd gone off. And I'm thinking, what's gone wrong? So we got back to the garage. I'm looking at the car, go, well, I can't see why I've gone off, because nothing's broken.
Right.
Everything's fine. And then about 2 hours later, this guy sheepishly comes up to me and goes, are you all right? And I went, oh, yeah, I'm okay. He went, I dropped fluid and that's why you went off. And I said, oh, I'm glad you told me, because I had no idea why I crashed.
Wow.
And it's very difficult to go back out when you've checked the car and you go, I don't know what's wrong with the car because it looks fine. And I don't know why I've crashed.
Yeah.
And that's a lot more difficult than knowing that why, that you've hit like an oily surface and that's why you've gone off. So, but yeah, I mean, it's great fun. I mean, there's a lot of hanging around, but the paddock was really good. I got to know quite a lot of people, and so, but it is sort of 3.5 days at a time. So
yeah,
it's a big time commitment. So, and obviously, if you've got 2 weeks between race meetings, so by the time you get back on the Sunday, you basically got 9 days to sort your car out. So when you get the car back, you've got to strip it down. And because a lot of the engine, the alternator used to fry. So after 4 meetings, I would change the alternator as standard, because you don't want to go there and during a race, the alternator fries and then you just have to pull out. Because that happened to me early on. I went, okay, I'm gonna make.
But what is, other than your gauges, what's in the race car that requires electrical?
Well, you've got,
Because they strip all that out, don't they?
Well, you've got the wipers, you've got the lights. You have to have a rain light at the back. You've got your brake lights. You've got, I mean, the heater's taken out, but you've still got your windscreen wipers. You've got electrical unit for the fire extinguisher. You've got an electrical cutout override. So you've still got quite a lot of electronics in there.
Okay.
Well, and also you're running an electronic ECU as well, which manages the engine.
Right.
So,
okay.
And the starter, and and then you've got the alternator, which is recharging the battery. So, yeah, it's but yeah, so there's lots of components that you change regularly, because because they're likely to fail because it gets really hot in the back. Because obviously the cooling is not fantastic in mid-engine cars,
right?
Because the engine's right behind your seat. So it's yeah, I mean, it's really good fun. But if the two big problems are, one, it takes a lot of time. It used to take me 8 hours to prepare my car.
8 hours.
Yeah. I'll send you some photos of my car naked, because you take the bodywork off.
Right.
So it doesn't look like a car from the back. It's but yeah, so yeah, it's great fun, well worth doing if you got the opportunity, but it burns money. That's the problem.
Yep. Look
At
that, Sue. You joined in, and you never know where the conversation's going to go when you get on Santa's VIP, right?
Awesome. I love it. You're right. You get to learn a lot of different things that I don't know much. I know this much about racing, but
even Emily was asking a couple questions too, so that's kind of cool.
But
very good.
But even though it's sort of like 10, 12 years ago, I had the data logger in there, so I've actually, so I take the card out and I can see the trace of my all the lines I've taken on all the different laps around the track, the speed at every corner, the amount of
Oh, wow.
G-force, the how much I'm braking. And you've got, so people look at all this stuff like on Formula One and IndyCar, which is
Right.
which is more than what I had, but I still had quite a lot of that. So I could
Right.
see when I changed gear, how many what revs I was doing, how quick I'm going into the corners, the angles, and everything else. You know, so very,
Running
you know,
5-speed or a 6-speed?
I was running 5-speed box. So, but I rarely got into 5th
Right.
because I only got into 5th probably 1, 2, 3. There's probably only 7 straights on UK tracks where I got into 5th, where it was worth getting into 5th.
Right.
So, you know, most of the time I'm just on the rev limiter in 4th down the straights. Because unless the straights look, it's not worth going into 5th for like 2 seconds, really.
Right.
Because then you've got 2 gear changes, you've got more chance of missing a gear as well, which could be a disaster. Because if you miss a gear, you're in trouble. Because
Right.
obviously you're using the gears to slow you down as you go into the corners as well.
Yep.
For engine braking. So
Yep.
these are all the things that they don't have in Formula One and in IndyCar now. You know, it's all paddle shift stuff and,
Yep.
you know, sequential boxes and that. So it takes away that a bit of the art of having mechanical sympathy with the vehicle. Because obviously if you bash the box too much, you're going to break it. So, and it is actually quicker to drive the car and potentially not use the clutch, particularly, and just
Right.
smash it through the box. But the problem with that is that the gearbox doesn't last very long then.
Well, it all depends. You got to get the RPMs right, because that's what you do in the big truck,
Well,
right? You don't use the clutch in a big truck.
No, but so
The only time you use the clutch is when you're starting and when you're stopping.
yeah, but you've got more. You're going to get more wear if you do that. That's the
Right.
point. So,
So
but you know, so but I mean, going from 3rd to 2nd, I never used to use the clutch.
right.
So, and it's but yeah, I mean, it's just the thing is, there's a lot of camaraderie as well. Even though
Oh
people,
yeah, big time.
even though people do get upset as well.
Yeah.
It's like, particularly if they're stuck behind you the whole race and they can't get past you.
Right. All right, kids, it's 6:01 on my clock. Thanks, Peter. That was very interesting. And, you had the ladies glued right into the screen for you. So,
Well, it's morning in Scotland now.
yeah, it is. All right. You get some rest, buddy. We'll chat with you tomorrow. Thanks, Emily. Thanks, Sue.
Yeah.
I'll
Thank you, Sam.
punt you over a couple of those videos.
All right. Talk to
See.
you soon. All right. Thanks,
Okay.
Emily. Thanks, Sue.
Everyone have a great rest of the day.
You get
All
too.
right. Thanks, guys.
Take
Cheers.
it